quite frankly, I'm not impressed. I'm like, you're not impressed? Oh, my bad. Welcome back to Dramatic Evaluation. In this video, I'm going to be doing yet another health update. I guess I'll just be doing a bunch of these throughout my life. I'm just following up after my last video a month or so ago. Please hook me up and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and please leave a comment. And if you think I'm wearing pants right now, get real. And just a quick disclaimer, I probably should be putting this in all my health videos. I didn't think about it until now, but this is not medical advice. I'm not telling anyone what to do. I don't know anything. I'm not a doctor. I certainly would not advise anyone one way or the other. I'm just talking about my personal experience and getting that out there and sharing that. And, don't take this as any type of advice, please. So let's get right into it. Okay, so quick backstory. I kind of do this in each video. I'll keep this one shorter. I'll maybe put a playlist together of my health update videos and maybe put a couple other playlists together of related videos on the channel. I've been thinking about doing that. But long story short, a couple years ago, my heart rate spiked up to 200 plus, 206 while I was riding my bike. It was like, what the heck? Went to a cardiologist, wore a heart monitor, tried to figure it out. Couldn't figure it out. A year later, it happens again for the second or third time. So I go to the ER. We discover blah, 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 a bunch of what's going on here. There's something crazy on the CT scan. Turns out I have sarcoidosis affecting my lungs and lymph nodes. Continue to have these episodes where my heart spikes, but not super often. And then in the last few months, it happened like 4 or 5 times. So the frequency was rapidly increasing compared to before. It was every like 6 or 8 months. So went back to the cardiologist, wore a heart monitor. And that was my last video, was we were getting the heart monitor on. I was able to capture an episode on the heart monitor because everyone kept telling me at the ER, the cardiologist, we can't do anything unless we have data to look at. Well, you got the data now, right? So I got it captured on the heart monitor. So I was like, sweet, let's get to the end of this heart monitor period because it sucks wearing this thing, by the way. Whoever designed those is an idiot. And I don't know how that's like the industry standard to use those, by the way, because people sweat. Right? And when you sweat, a thing that has this tiny little outline of a sticker is going to start peeling off. Hello, like perforate it or have more coverage of stickiness or something. Like figure it out, design that thing in a way that will stick to your body. Like I just don't understand what that is. But anyway, so I was able to capture it. So that's the backstory. Cut to, I go to the cardiologist. Is there a diagnosis? Where are we at now? Okay. Well, nothing. Super cool, man. So there's good and the bad of this visit to the cardiologist. Okay, the good is that we ruled out a couple things. So there were a couple things where I'm like, is it afib? Like, is it going like into crazy irregular heartbeats? I don't think that's the case. He didn't mention that. But we talked about what he did see on there. I'll get to what he saw in a minute. But afib not seeming to be the case. So that's good because that can be dangerous. I don't think it is a thyroid issue. I was thinking maybe I have these times when my heart gets incredibly low, like 48 resting heart rate, and then my feet will be cold. I have poor circulation, thyroid issues. But we looked at my relatively recent blood work, and the thyroid numbers were good, and he didn't think I had shown symptoms of anything like that. So I would say we ruled that out too. And just so in general, like the doctor's just not too concerned with the data. So that's good. In fact, he said, like, at first I didn't know how to interpret this. He was like, comes in and he sits there and says, oh, okay, like he pulls out the papers he's looking at. He's like, yeah, so, looking at the data from the heart monitor, I'm, quite frankly, I'm not impressed. I'm like, you're not impressed? Oh, my bad. Like, what does that mean? But I think he just meant, there's nothing crazy popping out here. Like, this isn't like, oh, shoot, look at this. This is bad. This episode you had was not great. Like, he said, I did have multiple SVT episodes and one VT episode. So SVT is Supraventricular Tachycardia. So it happens in the upper chambers of your heart. Typically not dangerous, all good, usually more annoying or just scary, but not like life-threatening typically. VT, just ventricular tachycardia, is in the bottom of your heart, can be bad. Everything I've seen about it can be fatal, can be life-threatening, can be not good. So that was not cool to hear that I had one of those. And also, by the way, I only felt one. I triggered this big episode where my heart was up at like 170 something resting on day 3, and I was like, okay, that's the one. I didn't even feel these other ones. Apparently I had these other like 2 or 3, I think he said, episodes that must have just been shorter and not as intense, maybe. I don't know, but I don't know. But he didn't seem concerned. Like, the good news of all of that is, like, there's nothing definitive from those episodes that he was like, okay, here's exactly what's happening. I guess that's good. That's bad news, actually, in my opinion. Like, I want to know what's up. But the good of that is there's nothing definitively bad, right? He's not like, oh, no, like, you have this disease that's doing this or something like that. So yeah, he wasn't like really concerned about the SVT and VT episodes. He was saying kind of, he's like, even every normal person out there, like, that doesn't have any type of heart issue whatsoever can have random episodes like this that can just pop up or like happen or whatever. I guess I didn't have an episode that like exceeded like 200 like I have before, and just, I don't know. The data he saw just wasn't overly concerning for him. The bad of all of this, in my opinion, is the uncertainty. Like I kind of said, like, there's no clear cause, and so we don't know why it's doing this and what the deal is still, which is really annoying. And also, the one thing still on the table then is my fear of this being cardiac sarcoidosis, which we'll get to that in a second. Kind of as far as the options and the plan going forward of what we talked about in that appointment, like, he prescribed me a low dose of beta blockers, a very, very low dose. So I was aware of these when I was kind of looking into all this stuff before my last video. I might have even mentioned this. And I was like, oh, well, beta blockers is definitely not an option and a thing that I would ever take, because my heart rate all the time is like 48 or like 55 resting, like very low. And beta blockers lowers your blood pressure and lowers your heart rate. Why would I take something that lowers my heart rate when my heart rate's already borderline a dead person, right? Like 48? Come on, I'm like, that's crazy. But he prescribed a very, very low dose, like half the like lowest dose, so like very low dose. So maybe that's why he was comfortable doing it. He just wants to kind of like see if this helps, and then check back in 3 months and kind of see if I've had any more episodes, what things are looking like. He was like, we can do a cardiac MRI, because I asked him, I was like, is cardiac sarcoidosis a thing? Like, here, like, I had sarcoidosis affecting my lungs and lymph nodes. Isn't it like entirely possible that now it's affecting my heart? And he unfortunately was like, yeah, it is, and that's why I am wanting to monitor you and continue like seeing you and seeing how everything is going. And so he said cardiac MRI is an option where we can get a better look, and that will, I think, everything I've looked up like and seen and talked to him about, like, that will tell us, oh yeah, there's like granulomas forming there, or like this is happening. Like we can tell if cardiac sarcoidosis is happening through an MRI. But he didn't. But he was like, we don't need to. Everything he was seeing in the data and what he knows about me, he was kind of like, if you want to do it, we can do it. I'll order it. But if not, then we don't need to. I was like, well, I'll just go off your feeling and your advice, I guess. And I guess it's also $1 million. So I guess no, then let's not do it, right? But my absolute fear with cardiac sarcoidosis, because everything I've looked up about it is like, first of all, what it will do is what is happening to me, okay? It can affect your heart rate. It'll give you a really low heart rate, and it can cause these like random SVT episodes to happen. Well, those two things are happening to me. And it can significantly shorten your lifespan. Essentially, just it kills you, because it forms these granulomas on your heart, starts damaging and scarring your heart, and then leads to heart failure and you die. And that can happen in like a couple of years. And if it's caught early, then you can try to treat it with like prednisone, like steroid, which is, I can't even imagine that's, yep, we're good to go, it's all good. Like, I don't know. I haven't looked enough into or like seen other people's stories, because like I said before, this is a rare disease. Who knows what's going to happen. But like, I am deciding now to get the MRI, because the earlier you catch it and start trying to treat it, the better chance you have at life, And if I don't do it, the longer it goes untreated and like you don't discover what it is, the more your heart's being damaged, and like you're screwed, and you'll probably, seemingly everything I've seen, like you'll die within like a couple of years. Like you don't have a very long lifespan when you have this. So I don't want to wait 3 months to like see how it's going and then just get the MRI later. Like I'm just like, let's just do this so we can either rule this out and I can have peace of mind and not stop absolutely stressing every moment of my existence about this, or we see that it is that, and then we start to treat it so I don't freaking die in 2 years. I die in 5. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm going to try to do. Of course, I call them back and I'm like, yeah, I want to do the MRI. And they're like, oh, okay, we'll let the doctor know. And then we'll call you back. They won't call you back. They won't call you back. Every time that a medical person, anyone, anywhere in my last 2 years of dealing with all this nonsense, anytime they say, oh, we'll call you back, they won't, they don't. They will not call you back. You have to call them back. You might as well tell them when they say, oh, they'll call you back. Just say, no, you won't. I'll call you back tomorrow. It's all good. But no, you won't. Because they freaking won't, okay? They do not call you back. So, called back again. Oh, yeah, we got the message in there to do that. Oh, we'll call you back. You won't again. You didn't. You won't again. So, I'll call today again for the third time. This is my life, and I'd rather not die. So, I am going to keep attempting to try to get in there and do this freaking cardiac MRI. And there's not really anything I'm going to know until after that. But I am taking those beta blockers that he prescribed. Super weird. Like I said, I already have a low heart rate. So I'm like sitting here like, and he said to stop it if I feel like overly exhaustedly fatigued and dizzy or anything like that. I don't know. It's hard to tell because my heart rate's crazy low. He said don't look at the numbers on your watch, just pay attention to how you feel. I did look at one point and it was 47. I definitely feel fatigued and tired. Yesterday was the third day of taking them and I was exhausted all day, and I kind of always feel dizzy to be real, always. So yeah, I felt dizzy too. So I'm like, do I stop them? Do I just keep trying it? Also, the first few days of taking them, supposedly, that's a typical thing that you're gonna feel until your body kind of settles into getting used to them. So I'm giving it the chance to feel a little bit better, but I haven't taken them this morning yet, which is why I don't feel as bad right now, I guess maybe. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I will say when I work out, my heart rate doesn't go as high, and that's a weird, it's a weird thing. I'm used to certain numbers, and then I'm exercising, and I'm climbing a hill on my bike, and I'm looking at my heart rate's 20 BPM lower than it usually is, and it's just it's an odd, weird thing. But it's hey, if it prevents it from shooting up to 200, that's the whole idea, that's great, and that gives me a little bit of confidence, because I have a lot of fear and anxiety around exercise now of I want to do it, I still do it every day or as often as I can, but there's always that fear in the back of my mind. I'm constantly looking at my watch, is it going at 200 right now? Am I about to explode? So having these beta blockers, I guess, helps kind of with that anxiety about that, I guess, a little bit. So I'll keep taking them. I'll see how it goes. I'll do the MRI. I'll see what that does. I don't know how long it's going to take for me to get in there and then do it and then get the results. I'm also claustrophobic, so laying inside of a tube for that long is really going to suck. But, people have done it. I'll be able to do it. We'll see. So that's pretty much it. Not too much definitive news, but just a reasonable update after the follow-up and that heart monitor that I wanted to just kind of follow up and let you guys know how my health journey is going with all of this stuff. Hopefully someone can relate, or you find it helpful to hear someone talk about their situation. I know everyone's got their own thing going on, so sometimes it can be helpful to hear you're not alone, you're not the only person dealing with something. And I don't know, watching other people's videos or listening to other people's stories has helped me in the past. So hopefully someone finds this helpful to listen to. And it's crazy how mental and emotional, at least for me, that's what I find, mental and emotional problems and stresses and things like this just completely disappear and don't matter when you have a physical health issue. things where you're like, oh man, I'm like really stressed about this thing, or like, oh, what's going to happen with that thing over there, when it's just like this material thing or this mental or emotional thing just disappears, and it's like, oh, I don't care at all about that because I might die. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to like physical health, anything and everything just goes away and does not matter. Like it's a wild feeling or phenomenon or whatever. Like, I don't know. Yeah, just wanted to mention that, I guess. I don't know. So that's it for my health update. I guess we're not done here, so I'll follow up later after I do the MRIs, probably when I'll do the next one of these. I have no idea when that will be, but I will keep you guys updated if you are so inclined to listen and find out what's going on with me. Yeah, thanks for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and please leave a comment. And stay tuned. Until next time,